Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the May Standing Committee meeting for the Clean Pittsburgh Commission, or the City of Pittsburgh. My name is Lori Beth. My pronouns are she, hers, and I am currently somehow still co-chair of the Clean Pittsburgh Commission. So I'm happy to be here with all of you in the room and in the wide world. We are going to start off as usual with our introductions. And then we'll take a look at our mission statement and our agenda. So as always, I'd like to kick it over to Christopher Mitchell, my co-chair for the time being.
Hi, Chris Mitchell. I'm co-chair of the Clean Pittsburgh Commission and with Environmental Services with the City of Pittsburgh. I'll turn it over to Amiye.
Hi, everyone. My name is Amiye Akweli, she, her pronouns. I am with the Office of Management and Budget, always forgetting the name, and I live in East Liberty. I'll pass it over to Lissa.
Hi, I'm Lissa Eberhardt, she, her pronouns. I am the program director with Allegheny Cleanways. I will pass it over to Kelsey.
Hi, Kelsey Ripper, Executive Director at Friends of the Riverfront and resident of Lawrenceville. And I will pass it to Debbie.
Hello, good morning. Debbie Steinberg, Green Practices and Sustainability Manager with Carnegie Mellon University, she, her pronouns, and I live in Squirrel Hill. And Giselle.
Hi everybody, my name is Giselle. I work for the Office of Management and Budget, and I help Clean Pittsburgh with social media. Oh right, I need to change it to give it to somebody. I always forget. Okay. High stakes. Okay. I'm gonna popcorn over to Sanjeev.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Sanjeev Manandar. I'm Environmental Sustainability Manager with Pittsburgh Public Schools. Thank you. I will pass it over to...
That's everybody.
That's everybody? Okay.
Yeah. We're doing great. Okay. Next up, I'm going to read the mission statement of the Clean Pittsburgh Commission, or at least a part of it is available in our bylaws on our website, as always, as part of the City of Pittsburgh website. The mission of the Clean Pittsburgh Commission is to act as the primary resource for addressing quality of life issues in Pittsburgh's communities through waste and recycling education, community cleanups, beautification, and ordinance enforcement. We'll coordinate communication, to empower community organizations to maintain and improve their neighborhood environments, maintain strong communication with city departments and officials for support in addressing neighborhood problems, facilitate collaboration between community groups, residents, and city government to reach the most effective solutions to neighborhood problems within our scope. We'll coordinate with local volunteer organizations and groups to support neighborhood cleanups. We'll use funds responsibly to address neighborhood problems on a citywide basis, and we'll work cooperatively towards the goal of zero waste in the city of Pittsburgh. We will take a quick look here at our May agenda.
We'll need to make an update to this that Vanessa Reeves, issue number 5 there, will not be able to join us today. So that'll have to be amended.
Thank you, Chris. Okay. There's our agenda. Everyone can see it, I hope. Aside from that modification regarding item number 5, if anyone has any other questions or changes, Erica is not quite with us just yet, and so if she's able to join shortly, I think we'll probably also come back to our meeting minutes review, but we will get to everything, just not always in that order from 1 through 9. So if I could please have a motion to accept the agenda.
I'll motion to approve.
Thank you, Omoye. And I can go ahead and just second that. And then we will just keep going. So that puts us at item number 4, for which we'll go back to the desk of Christopher Mitchell.
All right. Thank you. So as the agenda says, unfortunately today I am making my announcement that I am resigning from the Clean Pittsburgh Commission today. There's a few reasons for this. The largest is that I was tasked to work on the city's trash and recycling truck routes at Environmental Services a few years ago. And after I took on that task, the project has ballooned in size several times. So most days I'm working 7 hours on routing and only have an hour to send out all the emails apologizing for how late I am on everything. And I got by with that for a couple of years, working in this anti-litter lane and also on these other projects by doing a lot of overtime. But unfortunately, that you can't really do that for too long. I had to learn the hard way that you can't keep that up forever. So I have requested and been granted permission to step back from a lot of litter and illegal dumping responsibilities with the city, including working with the Clean Pittsburgh Commission. This was not an easy decision for me to make, but a lot of that work in litter was fueled by passion, and I got to collaborate with so many amazing people. It was a lot of fun. It was a fun work, and I loved it so much. But unfortunately, when I looked at the scope of what I had to do, the garbage truck routes, it's a boring project, but I just did not see a way for me to move forward and do everything I wanted to do. And I had to make the decision I felt a very strong sense of responsibility to our environmental services drivers and laborers that have needed this done for so long. So going forward, I wanted to let everybody know who's taking over what responsibilities, what I can still help out with, and things like that. The volunteer applications that come through the city will be going through the new environmental enforcement coordinator role that was previously held by Missy Rosenfeld. We have a new person coming into that role very shortly. She will be at the next Clean Pittsburgh Commission meeting. So I will still be involved in that, and that I created the automated flow process and will continue upkeep on that, but most of that will go through her from now on. I will also be providing support to Eric and the environmental enforcement team here at Environmental Services. And I will be planning the Garbage Olympics still. But outside of that, and the ballot bins. I know that as the Clean Pittsburgh Commission project, but I've largely worked on that almost exclusively alone. So any work to be done on the ballot bins, I will still take responsibility for. Of the original 35 bins we had originally placed, we really only have about 2/3 of those, maybe even half of those left, because they fall victim to vandalizing and broken, stolen, things like that. As for the gold plan, we've already made great strides on the enforcement side with Eric and his team, and hopefully that'll still move forward. As far as the abatement and cleanup side of the gold plan, it's likely to be a couple of years before that can really come into place. And so hopefully when they are ready to move forward on that, I can be in a place where the garbage truck routes aren't as arduous as they are right now. And I can hopefully get back into that place and push it forward in a couple of years. So I wanted to thank everybody for the amazing work everybody has done on the commission. I'm really sorry to leave on these sort of terms, but anybody who's willing to step up and lead the commission as co-chair with Lori, I can show how I've scheduled the meetings, who I've worked with at City Channel, and getting the Zoom set up, keeping up our online pages, and I'll put together some documents of the steps on those, and also always be available to talk. But thank you so much. And again, apologies for having to leave like this, but if there's any other questions or anything, I'm always available. Thank you.
First and foremost, I'd like us to just very briefly, or less briefly, take a moment to everybody unmute, and I want claps and snaps and woo woo woos for Chris Mitchell for everything that they've done to single-handedly keep the Clean Pittsburgh Commission going over the last few years.
Thank you, Chris.
Well, Chris,
And oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, sorry to hear that you have to leave the position, but thank you very much for your service and your hard work, making sure that this meeting goes on every month and we do the work that we do. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'll just add that when I saw that on the agenda today, had a little anxiety about, because you do so much for the commission. But I totally understand, the feeling of being stretched and having to reprioritize. And it's a really hard decision. And this is really a really important work that we're doing. And so I know that was no easy decision to make. So I think we'll figure it out, but you will be very much missed.
Yeah, when I heard at the last Garbage Olympics meeting, that was a shock to me. So, but yeah, no, thank you so much, Chris. Worked a long time alongside you. So, but yeah, I'm curious, in this thing happening, because I would be willing to step up, but like I'm not in a position to, like, by the bylaws to even do so. Because I'm not. I think this might be my last year because the bylaws have not been updated and I'm no longer within the scope. Working within the scope of the bylaw. So I have questions about that, but but in general, thank you so much, Chris. See you around. I mean, I'll see you around. Thank you so much.
Chris, I just wanted to say, like, the work that you have done has been absolutely astronomical. I mean, I've seen you for like years now, and I keep saying, like, how does Chris do it all? And really proud of you for making this big step, and I look forward to seeing all the great stuff that I know that you will continue to do. And just really happy for you, man. I mean, I want the best for you, and though I'm kind of sad and bummed, I'm even happier that you're going to some place and gonna have a better kind of work-life balance, which is so beyond important. So just thank you for everything, and you're gonna do amazing. I have absolutely no doubt.
Thank you. So we can move on now because, boy, that's a lot. Well, we'll move on to, we won't have Vanessa here, so we can turn it over to Lissa for her Hill District Stair project that she's looking funding for.
Yeah, I will be super brief. I think I kind of mentioned this in our last meeting. But Allegheny Cleanways has been partnering with Land Force over the past year to revitalize some of the steps throughout the city. We had worked on the north side last year with some support from the Garden Club of Allegheny County to clean up and replant a few steps. And then we are currently in the process of setting up stewards now with those steps to continue to maintain the trash and the new plants that have been put there. We are now kind of shifting into the Hill District, since that is where not only the Clean Pittsburgh Commission has been focusing the past couple years, but also Cleanways. We've done pretty much most of our dump sites we have finished there. And now we would like to do some more long-term stewardship in that area. We just got approved last month for funding, again, from the Garden Club of Allegheny County and the Garden Club of America to adopt 4 more steps in that in the Hill District. So we will be, Allegheny Cleanways will be doing the cleaning and then finding and maintaining the stewards, while Land Force deals with invasive species and replanting of native species on those steps. So from the Clean Pittsburgh Commission, we would be asking for about $4,000 to be split evenly between Cleanways and Land Force to adopt another set of steps, which is in walking distance of the other 4. And we would go in, clean them, address the invasive species, plant native plants and then find and maintain stewards who would then take over the stairs from there. That's my pitch. If you guys have any questions, please let me know.
I think this is great because we have been looking for something to do in the neighborhood of focus for this year. Haven't really gotten to focus on that as much as we'd like to. So having concrete steps is exactly what we need. So I think we've already got money budgeted in the spreadsheet for neighborhood of focus that could easily go to this. And I'm all for it. So I think that'll take us very neatly into our finance updates unless anybody has any other questions.
No, I don't have a question. This is Afton. Yes, I completely agree. We can take a look at this as part of like the finance discussion if that's the next thing on the agenda. Nobody else?
Totally is.
Okay, so then let's do the finance report. So I'm going to share my screen. If it'll let me. Can everybody see this? Is it showing? Yep, okay, good, we're showing. All right, so this is the finance reports. And we do have funding in the neighborhood of focus, which is this line item here, which is $4,000. I haven't really heard much discussion on any other projects, so I think that that's entirely plausible if that's what we are going to choose to use the neighborhood of focus dollars for. I will say that last month, we did receive a request from Pennsylvania Resources Council for $5,000 as well. I think that they're also working in the Hill District though. And their request, I don't remember. Is anybody from PRC on here that can speak to
Yes, I can.
what the okay,
It's
perfect.
me.
Okay, 1 second, let me finish.
Go ahead.
So let me finish real quick. When we had originally met with PRC, we were saying that because they're also working in the Hill District, maybe that would be an appropriate use of some of the neighborhood of focus dollars. Otherwise, the $5,000 request from PRC would put us over budget by about $2,000, $2,360. So we're just going to have to decide either if we're going to honor the PRC's request, where we're going to take the money from. I know we talked about possibly taking it from the city surveillance because we weren't sure if we were even going to have the need for the cameras until the new enforcement person was hired and could add their thoughts on that, or maybe one of the other line items. So
with city surveillance, I have requested that be discontinued. We do have an outstanding balance with them, so I've sent that over to Afton and Amier. The outstanding balance is $2,025, so that will that's what the invoice is for, and that'll close us out with them. So we will not have to spend the entire $4,800. That does free up the $2,000 we're looking for. We also set aside the $3,000 there for the urban blight index, which I don't believe we're going to have the resources to really pursue this year, unfortunately. So that one can probably be removed because I don't think we're going to have the people needed for it. Yeah. So I think that's going to free up plenty to make sure that we get the Hill District taken care of.
Okay, thank you. There, that's what we needed. So if we were able to reduce the city surveillance, then I think that give us that and get rid of the urban blight index for this year at least. That doesn't mean that we can't possibly next year if we have more resources to put towards it. Then that actually gives us a surplus of $3,475 even with PRC's request. So okay, so but it'd be great to hear from PRC to explain to the commission a little bit more about what the idea is and what they wanted to use that funding for. I know that it was connected to the Hill District.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of remember what they were doing. So they have worked with environmental services since they've been, the contractor for e-waste collection down at the Strip to do neighborhood collections throughout the city. They I think they were just trying to figure out how they can, you know, increase the impact for the neighborhood of focus, but the funding just wasn't aligning internally for them. So basically what we've been doing in some of the neighborhoods, like I know a couple have happened in like District 9, not District 9, District 8, you know, they've done some in District 1 and 6, but just returning to the Hill District to continue that work to help people, and I think it was covering staff costs for collection of materials. So, but yeah, it's unfortunate that they're here, that they can't elaborate further, but that was basically the gist of just expanding the neighborhood collections that they're doing citywide, but just mostly focusing on the neighborhood of focus.
Awesome. Thank you, Emma. Any other questions? That helps anybody else?
But do we need to vote on any alterations or anything?
I think we do. So we probably need to vote on whether or not we want to allocate the $5,000 officially towards PRC, towards our hard to recycle collection, and the personnel cost to run the hard to recycle collection in the Hill District. And we'll also need to vote on on how to use the neighborhood of focus funding, if that's going to be towards steps in the Hill District. So those are the two changes that we'd be making to the budget. So we probably need to vote on both of those. Somebody wants to.
And also the city surveillance change. So we might as well just vote on all the updates we made as a single issue. Does that make sense? Or should we break it up because we barely have a quorum and some people might have to abstain?
Let's do some discussion first to make sure that there's nobody who has any thoughts or comments, and then I feel that we can get maybe a motion to vote on changes to the budget. Any discussion? Anybody wants to talk about anything?
The only thing I would like to discuss is maybe like, because I don't know if we need to move things around just to make things clear where the money's going, because it could be for neighborhood of focus, but I guess Allegheny Clean Ways, it could be moved up to their line. And I'm just talking about spreadsheet stuff, but it's not really impacting the actual movement of the money.
Well, we already have the line item for the PR resources allocated here. So for 5,000.
No, I'm talking about Allegheny Clean Ways.
Oh, I'm sorry. This one.
But I mean, it could be, I'm just saying there's two areas where that money, that line item could be, and just want to make it clear. Because our neighborhood of focus below. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so basically, do we want to allocate $4,000 to Allegheny Clean Ways and then still reserve having a neighborhood of focus budget, or do we want to have the neighborhood of focus allocated funding that we were reserving to go towards the funding of the steps, which would be Allegheny Clean Ways? Is that what you're saying? And just leave it here as neighborhood of focus.
Basically, yeah. It's not that important.
Well, I guess it is important because it's like, well, if we wanted to use the money, if we wanted to still have a line item budget for the neighborhood of focus to do something other than just the steps, then it would make a difference. So you're right.
True. So I think we should, maybe put Allegheny Clean Ways / I don't know, it's land force, right? And then move the 4,000 up there. And then if there's any leftover funding for any other things happening in the neighborhood of focus, because at this point it's a PA Resources Council. They're getting neighborhood focus money for holding their e-waste collections, and then we're also putting forth money for the land forest and Allegheny Clean Ways to do stair work. So it's just, I guess, notes. It's all notes here pertaining to the neighborhood of focus, but
let's do here for Allegheny Clean Ways and land forest to do the step remediation in the hill. And then for right now, I'll take this out for unless we have something else that comes up that we want to use neighborhood of focus dollars for. So that still at the end leaves us with 26,525 planned for the year. The changes to the budget that we just discussed would be to finalize the city surveillance outstanding invoice with to finalize the outstanding invoice with city surveillance for 2025 for the year. And then for right now, put camera expenses on hold until the new enforcement officer joins us. And then we added $5,000 to Pennsylvania Resources Council so that they're able to do hard to recycle collection, be able to staff. So the money would be for the personnel needed to staff and to run the hard to recycle and trash collections happening in the Hill District. And then we also made the adjustment to add $4,000 to Allegheny Cleanways and Land Force so that they're able to do step cleanup in the Hill. I think everything else is remaining the same right now, as of right now. We removed the urban blight index because right now this is on hold for the year until we have possibly personnel to take a look at if we can do this or not, maybe next year. We have $3,000 for Litter League, designated for Litter League. We have $8,000 designated for Garbage Olympics. We have $1,500 designated for reusable bags towards the reusable bag ban, and we're still waiting to hear from Tobias as to whether or not he's able to purchase. He's able or ready to purchase those bags. We have a $1,000 hold for funding that's supposed to go towards humane action for signage on bus shelters. And let's see, we removed, neighborhood city steps grants. That was, I think, just a hold that actually just went with the neighborhood of focus. So right now we don't have a line item for neighborhood of focus because we reallocated the funding, but it's still going towards the Hill. But if there's another project that we want to do in the Hill District, I believe we still have a little bit of funding left over that we can allocate towards that. And we have Color Park, which they had a request for $2,000 to redo the walls and to clean up, I guess, the area for the Color Park, which is a specifically designated area for people to be able to do spray painting in a safe and legal manner, which brings our total budget for right now, $26,525. And that leaves us with a surplus of $2,025, which we can allocate towards something else if we have another ask. All right, so I would need, if there's no other discussion, I would need.
I would say that the balance, that number is not correct. It's 3,475.
Sorry, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry, I was reading the wrong thing. I need to take that. Well, that's the invoice. I can't take that other. Yes, you're right. Sorry. So the remaining budget, my bad. Thank you, Omo, is $3,475 that we have to allocate. But that's still outstanding that we can allocate towards other projects if should they arise. And just also a quick reminder that all of our outstanding invoices need to be turned into us and received by I think October of this year, so that we can make sure that they're all paid out by November, before the books close. So that is our budget, guys, for 2024 as of this meeting, which is the May 9th meeting. So we can open it up for discussion. Otherwise, I will need a motion to amend the budget.
Okay. Well, I think we need a motion to take a vote, but I think we need to still vote. We don't have to vote on the city surveillance cameras because that's literally just like approving a bill in an amount that is different from something that we already voted to approve. And I think we should vote on the steps and the hard to recycle collections separately, because I think some of the people who would be affected personally and need to abstain from those votes are different people for each.
Okay.
So the city surveillance cameras is just fulfilling a pre-approved expense, and the amount has changed to $2,025 and is recorded in the budget and in the minutes of this meeting. Regarding the Pennsylvania Resources Council hard to recycle and bulk trash collections in the Strip District, or I'm so sorry,
Hill District.
in the Hill District. could we go ahead and put that up for a vote with everyone?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in
And-
favor?
Opposed? I can't see everyone right now. Oh, wait, there we go. I didn't see anyone vote against, and then of course we record abstentions. All right, seeing none, motion carries for the hard to recycle collection funding for Pennsylvania Resources Council to continue that work in our neighborhood of focus in the Hill District. And now we will vote regarding the step cleanup and planting also in the Hill District by Allegheny Cleanways and Land Force. All those in favor? Any opposed? And recorded abstention. And so that will.
Lisa, do you want to abstain?
Yeah,
she raised
sorry,
her hand.
I raised my hand.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Oh, I didn't see everyone. Sorry.
So that also has been approved as part of as modification to our budget and is recorded therein. And that's all very good work and very exciting. So I think that covers the budget talk today, finance talk today. I think. All righty. Just cruising. Oh, heck, it's my favorite time of day. It's member organization updates. I'm just a resident, so you all are going to have to just give me the resident or the member organization updates.
Can I ask a question that's like a little bit more finance related? We had talked about having someone come in and do another training for new members about the sunshine laws and regulations and things. Do we know when that could happen, or is there something that someone we should reach out to schedule that?
I had originally reached out to City U to see, because they frequently give courses like that, and asked if they could put together specifically something for the Clean Pittsburgh Commission. I think that would do well at other commissions as well. I don't know where we left off with that conversation. I feel like that petered out. They said they'd consider it. I will
reach out to them and
back
CC
out
me.
to the people and see. But
I'll help
I'm
try
not
to pull
sure.
that forward if you want.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'll forward that to Ami and see if they're still able or willing to do that. I don't think I got a final answer from them as a yes or no, but that's what I would like to see happen.
Is City U part of the city? Like, is it a city agency? Okay.
Yeah, and they basically do courses like fair hiring practices and things like that. Just general, here's how you navigate these sort of things. So I thought it worked really well in their wheelhouse.
Yeah, I did. I kind of stopped on some of the neighborhood of focus things because of like questions that I was having after hearing about some of the other issues with other like commissions and council. So I would really like to understand kind of what our obligations are under the Sunshine Law, and like how to treat meetings outside of the commission, these regularly scheduled commission meetings.
Do we know who provided the last education? Who provided the last session that I can't remember, unfortunately. But I will carry the torch of the outreach that we're doing to the City U and see what we can do to catch everyone up.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good questions. Also, just regarding that question too, as a really quick follow-up. Historically, the Clean Pittsburgh Commission has had a June meeting and taken off in July. So I just want to make sure that everyone has eyeballs on that going forward for any guest speakers and plans and whatnot, if that is what we're going to do this year. So just keep it in there, rolling around. Now memorization updates.
Well, if you're looking for something to do in July, we might be doing our Color Park celebration in July, where we needed to push it a little bit with staff capacity. So we've been working with some local artists and kind of how we want to frame the event. And so hopefully we'll have more information about that soon, and I'll make sure to let everyone know about that. So it'll be, a painting event down at the Color Park. And then we're just full steam ahead with all of our stewardship programs. So kind of the usual from Friends of the Riverfront.
I can say that this weekend, we did close our registration, but we will be having our first return of our Tri-Trashalon event that we had done a couple times in years prior, but we are bringing it back better than ever. We will be doing an overnight biking, kayaking, and camping litter cleanup starting in Boston and going all the way down the Gap Trail and then biking all the way back up the next day. So this will be our, trying it again. And hopefully this is something that becomes an annual event for us. So that should be fun. Other than that, we do have our, again, stairs stewardship, and our Great Keepers program is also back up and running with a new coordinator leading that. So if you are interested in adopting a stairs or storm drain, it's really fun and super easy, and you definitely should do that. Let me know.
I should have also mentioned that the literally final tournament is on May 31st, right? Okay. It will be downtown. So if anyone wants to come, it should be fun. Should be a very celebratory final tournament of the season.
It'll be in the Market District, and we'll somehow be managing to bring our new dump truck down there, which is going to be super scary driving it downtown. But if you want to come see our new dump truck, it'll be parked somewhere in Market Square that day.
We love a new dump truck. I personally do. Based on my history from environmental services, we love a new piece of equipment. Anyway, yay.
This isn't an update, but if no one has any other updates, I do have a quick question since we were talking about like positions and stuff with the commission. I know it's not an official position, and Kelsey, I think you started this with your meeting about the neighborhood of focus and picking the neighborhood of focus. One of the questions I had during that meeting was what kind of work was being done and how it was being coordinated, not only like with nonprofits like on their own, but under the umbrella of the Clean Pittsburgh Commission. And it sounds like there might be some need for more support with that. And that would definitely be something I am interested in helping out with. I know we're kind of coming to the end of the Hill District one, but once we pick the next one and get ready for the next 2 years for that work, I would absolutely be up for working with whomever else is interested in and coordinating that work between nonprofits and the commission.
I think that as we transition away from the glorious and gilded era of the Christopher Mitchell Clean Pittsburgh Commission, we will likely be reorganizing who is on what subcommittee going into the latter part of this year. So thank you. We are currently in really good shape RE budgeting in advance to where we're not sitting here, I hope, in November, like, where do we throw this trash money at? So I think in the latter part of the year, we will have lots of time to be very organized at those things. Is there any more clean or Pittsburgh Commission member organization updates?
Yeah, Nellie has joined us, but she's blurred, but my calico princess.
Okay, well, if there really aren't any more member organization updates, shameless self-promotion, your girl is hosting a poetry slam at the Greer Cabaret Theater at Theater Square today. So I'm very excited about that myself. That's what I host in the nighttime, and that's why I'm always asking you all to snap and woo. I believe, according to my agenda, that we're very close to the end of it. So we have plenty of time today for questions, if there are any more follow-up questions or anything that you've recalled in the last 3 minutes. Otherwise, we can accept a motion to adjourn. No.
Well,
Oh,
guys, so we have to figure out who's going to, are we still going to have co-chairs? Or, like, we have to go through those motions again. I'm asking questions. I don't have answers.
So we're not required to have co-chairs. And believe me, when I say I want one real bad, but I also am not certain with the number of folks that are here today and that brand new announcement that making that decision right smack this second is like, but if that's what we want to do, obviously I'm open to it.
I'm just talking about the future, not saying we have to make a decision now, but we have to gear up for making that decision since you've made clear that you want, you would like a partner in crime. But yeah, that's it. I just thought.
Yeah. Everybody think about if you want to be Christopher Mitchell when you grow up. I know I do.
Should we should an email go out to all the commissioners just saying that Chris has resigned and we're looking for a new co-chair? If you're interested, let the commission know before, and then our plan is to vote in June at the meeting.
Why don't I send that out? That's a good idea. I'll send that out for everybody who wasn't here today, or just a reminder for everybody who was, and let them just kind of, I'll spell out kind of what the responsibilities I've done to make sure everything's scheduled and what they need to be doing to move it forward. I'll do that today.
Cool. Thanks.
Well, I guess that's it, huh?
Seems like it.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you received 30 minutes of your day back on Thursday, May 9th, 2024.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Bye,
Bye, guys.
Thank
Have
you,
a good day.
everybody.
One more time for
Bye.
Chris Mitchell on the way out.